On the third day, God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees that bear fruit, according to their various kinds." And it was so. And God saw that it was good.
We are at the Pilar High School at Pilar in Tiswadi district, and we have with us Father Pio Furtado, who has been showing to the students how to do gardening, how to grow crops. And one of the main crops in Goa is rice, because that is our staple food. That's the food we grew up on, and that's still the food that our children eat. And here specifically, Father has grown the black rice. Now, what is special about black rice, and what is the education that he wants to communicate to the students of the school, and through this program to all the people in Goa and elsewhere who are watching this program. So, Father Pio, welcome to this episode, and can you tell us something about what you are doing here?
Yes, this is the place where when I came over here, I saw it was just lying vacant. And I thought of doing something, because I'm molding the shaping the students, the future of our young generation. And seeing this, it was almost, you must have also remember, Mr.
Yes.
Miguel, how it was, and I brought you in the initial stage, showing you what to be done.
Absolutely, this was a complete like a scrapyard and a dumping ground for all the debris.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes, and then I had this concept, like, to inculcate this sense of cultivation in the mind and heart of my students. And when I started, it was a dream, or really a dream. And I said, I'll go forward. And to tell you, definitely, I had to take a lot of trouble. As Miguel said, it was a dumping yard of our school. Lots of things were thrown here. There were a lot of massive trees coming here up, the wild trees, and I had to take it up into this and get it into shape. And I took it up. Last year, for example, before I can tell you about the proper rice that we have cultivated here, we took it under control along with my support staff, my students. Even if they were in the pandemic, I would bring them sometime, and we started working on it. And amazing to see, it was the entire place what you see today with standing with the rice crop, it was standing with the vegetable crop. And we had around 32 different varieties of vegetable grown in this area. But then later, in the month of May, I happened to meet one of my friends from Anjuna, Gaspar. And he introduced me this black rice, what you can see here, the black rice. This is the rice that he introduced to me, and he said, "Father, I have seen you so much interested of teaching this to your student. And why don't you do this?" I got around 5 kilos of rice. Today it is about 2,500 square meter of land. It's just coming up from the around 5 kilos of the paddy that I brought from Mr. Mini Gaspar from Anjuna. And I said, I will go for it. We did it from the, you can say, from sowing the seeds. Then we did the transplantation, and today you see it is already producing.
But why black rice, Father?
Yes.
Most people want to know why black rice and how it is different.
Yeah, now let us get into the point, as Miguel also is very much interested in that, and all of you, my viewer also must be waiting to see. This is something, black rice is very rare in Goa. It was last year in Anjuna and this year over here, and some more other places of Goa. And why black rice? Is black rice because it has got a lot of properties in this, which otherwise in other rice it is not there. And this is the highest properties that any other rice can have, and it is been in this rice. And this rice I took up as a challenge, because this rice would not only give us the properties and everything, it also would fetch a price.
Okay. So there is value for this particular rice,
Yeah.
and it gets a premium in the market.
Very much, very much.
Yes.
So it's almost going to go, the rice is sold in the market around 400 rupees kilo. Is ordinarily you see that with Jyoti and all others will be, if it's costing you 40, 50, 60 rupees, this will be
Absolutely, yes.
costing 400 rupees. Why this? Why black rice? Because today generation, the young generation, my students for example, they look out for money. And unless you give them this,
Concept of it's giving 8 times more.
yeah,
From
they
50
will not
you're
go.
making 400.
Yeah, because
yes.
everyone is looking for fast money, and this also can give you fast money.
But how about its production?
The production you can see today, you can see by yourself. Now you can see this is already
the
lying down.
grain is very heavy, so it's
Yeah.
come onto the ground.
Since it is around almost 4 and 5 feet high, once it gets it like how in the olden time, it falls off, and that's how this is now almost ready for harvest. And once it is falling down, it will be helpful because it will grow in that way, in a better way, because the ground, it will take a support of that ground and it will come up.
So lodging of the rice, that means they will have to go for manually harvesting it
Yes,
with
yes,
a sickle.
Yes, yes.
So because machine will not be able to
yes,
come here.
Yeah, this also means, see, if we make money, I think the people, the laborer also should make a little more money.
Absolutely, it will generate
And I will
employment.
not, yes, because we have to share. We have to not only think of ourselves today. We should not become selfish, but also we should think of the labor community, which perhaps lots of this work will not be able to done by my students. I have got to get, and we have to pay them. Where
Yes.
if I make a money, I think they also should make a money, and everyone should be happy about it.
Yes, and if you are manually harvesting, also you will get the straw, so the cattle will be happy. They'll have something. To
Correct,
eat.
correct, correct. So
that will be
likewise,
good.
we are not destroying; we are
Right.
saving a lot of things, and this is what it is.
Right. You have any plans to do mushrooms or something on the straw that you're going to get?
Yeah, I also when I was in Our Lady of Miracles High School at Sangay, I used to do mushroom cultivation. This time I also have a plan of this straws, because today you don't get a straws in the field, because the people are doing with the machine cutting and it is totally finished off. I also have got a shade, and where usually used to be tying cattle there. Now it is remaining empty. So this I'm planning out to have the mushroom cultivation, because these straws will be the greatest help for me.
That will be very nice. I remember Our Lady of Miracles School in Sangay, where you have done miracles in growing vegetables and rice there with the students.
Yeah.
I think you could tell us a little bit about how you went about there and
Yeah.
what was your experience.
Yeah. Yes, Sangay is a place where people are coming from the backward areas, and also I had a lot of migrants there. And beside the studies, for example, telling you very sincerely, studies we could always remain tall. And telling you also that even Miracle School always stood tall, in a sense like the school in entire taluka. Beside this, I wanted to give them the concept of cultivation, where development of all round. So I divided whole school into divisions. Each division was given a plot of about 6 by 8, 4 by 6 square meters. Yeah. And it was asked to them to develop it. No doubt it was under my guidance. Teachers also were coming out, and it was amazing to see the children, even in the evening hours, they would come and work in that. So much so, the harvest was so much, we became the partners of Horticulture Collection Center of Goa.
Okay, you actually sold to the Horticulture Corporation.
Yeah, every day we would sell about 20-25 kilos of sometimes brinjals, chilies. That time Nisha variety was just
chili,
introduced
yes.
that time. Yeah,
Yes.
And you remember how it was. And norcols, it was lady fingers, all these kind of things. Every day almost 20-25 kilos we were selling. And not only that, hearing this, the Goa government also gave us an award, and that was the only school where I think we must have been given that award that particular year.
Yeah, yes. Now over here, first year you had grown vegetables, and now you have come in the Kharif season for this crop.
Yes.
This winter, are you planning for vegetables here?
Yes. Now this time I want to give a little rest for this place. and I'm going to go for the winter crop. I have already taken care of another new plot, which was again a jungle type. So it is already brought under control, and we are going to go for that. This over here, what I'm going to do, it is I'm going to put what we call the beans,
Beans, the pulses.
pulses, the ausande, because I have got other thought of mine that twice two crops we have already taken, vegetable as well as rice, Mr. Miguel, and now we need to give little rest to this ground. We cannot go on harvesting on this. So with this now it will be two in. One is to fix nitrogen to the ground,
Yes.
which we ausande sondio we will be planting, the beans, and other way we will also will get a harvest.
Harvest.
And today I know, last year for example, with the help of my support staff, I put a few seeds of, just brought 1 kilo from Apsa, from the market I brought actually, and I wasn't knowing whether they will able to
germinate or not.
yeah, but it's amazing to remember, my support staff Ratnakar and Sabi will remember how much we removed and how much we gave to the people coming over here. Every time people would come, you know, as this thing, we would, the joy whenever they came to see our vegetable grown, because the whole thing was grown, and in between we would remove and give them so that they could boil and eat it. You know, with you remember, Mr. Miguel, olden time how we used to have our mother used to give us the sango kattalyo,
yes.
आणि मीठ घालून उकडटाले आणि आमकां दिताले. This concept I दवरलो because I wanted to bring the past back. So this year I'm going to go do this.
So vegetables will go to a new plot, and this plot will get regenerated with nitrogen fixed by legumes.
Yes.
And also give you a crop which will give you high protein food in
Correct.
form of alsando or sauri,
Yeah.
which is a traditional crop here also in Goa after the
Correct.
rice.
Correct, because many people doesn't know. You know, when we were small, I had seen that. Okay, by the way, I'm not coming from the family of a farmer.
Yeah.
I developed this sense because when I joined the Society of Pilar, I wanted to serve in the mission of Nagaravel or Andamans.
Okay.
And I knew when I was told, because they were the poorest of the poor that we were always hearing, I never wanted to be in Goa, very sincerely. So that time I used to observe what was happening, and when I came to Pilar, I realized along with my other studies, philosophy, theology and the regular study of my graduation, I said if I don't learn this, I will not able to talk to them. So talking to them, but not having about God or something good concept, but not having their stomach, food in the stomach, what would be the use?
Yeah.
So I began learning this. And when I was in 11th standard, I picked it up and I went forward with this. And the same concept, as I said to you, when I had seen it, how these people of our villages would do this. I had seen people after their paddy cultivation, they would go for this. And I never knew why it was. Then I started studying. And when I started studying, I started realizing that this have got a double value. One side they get a crop, other side they are fixing the nitrogen in the ground.
Yes. And I think that is something that your students also who are helping you here will learn. And even those who are not helping you here, who are seeing it,
Yes.
I think it will be a good learning experience.
Very much. To tell you very sincerely, I have just introduced Eco Club, Mr. Miguel, in our school. And it's amazing to see my tiny tots, I can say, because I start from the 5th standard, my school.
Okay.
And it goes up to the 10th standard. So much interest in them. And they are almost 5th, 6th and 7th, they have enrolled themselves. But then now I changed and went to the concept of a higher student, a 9th standard. There are over 25 students have already enrolled. To tell you very sincerely, when we were cultivating this field, it was, you know, the day which was fixed was on 10th of July. And 10th of July, if you remember, it was raining for cats and dogs. And I had planned to do this transplantation along with my students. But the rain was so much, the government had declared holiday for that because it was so much of rain. The schools are supposed to be closed, but we had kept it open. On 8th and 9th standard and 10th standard it could be kept. And so practically I said, Baba, you don't come. The students had already got the thing from NOC from their parents also saying, yes, you can go and do. But to our bad luck, they could not come. But it was very surprising when I started doing this along with few workers. The students came to the windows and they said, Father, we want to come, we want to come. Okay. And practically then afterwards, almost whole, I have got around 2 divisions each in 9th, 8th and 10th, so 6 divisions. So 9th and 10th standard, all of them wanted to come. So I told the teachers to come in a group, and they were so happy to do that. Because why I'm telling you this, because many times we have a concept saying that आमच्या भुरग्यांक आयज interest ना, आमच्या भुरग्यांक ते करूंक नाका, ना तशें न्हू तें. It's not correct. It is like once we give that interest to them, that is already in them. You only have to get a flip for their interest, and it's amazing to see.
Yes, so that is my experience also. You give them a little bit of a opportunity.
Correct.
And then they will do much more than you expect.
Yeah, in fact, today I tell you, let us not blame our young generation. The young generation is the best generation, and children are the best children. Come what may, we may be in the modern time, but still the children's, that like and desire to know and do things, it is never less.
It's tremendous, yes.
Yes.
That is actually a very good learning for us adults, that the generation next is interested in doing agriculture. We think that they don't.
Yeah, and I want everyone to remove this concept from your mind. The आयचे generation कितेंच फायद्याचें न्हू म्हणून. आमी जायत. Generation like us, who are not interested to transmit this knowledge into them or wants them to get into that, we are enemies of the coming generation, of this modern generation, because we are ourselves lazy. Sorry to say, I'm very sorry to say, but I need to speak the fact. I'm sorry, I'm not offending you. Even if you get offended, I don't mind it. It is a fact that we don't want to do. That's why we are saying we don't want to allow our children also to do. And this is something, it's a crime. Forget what we have. Actually, a generation like us had learned everything like this. I might have been an exception that I did not have field. But most of you, viewer of mine, must have been doing this work. Why you forgot this, I don't know. You should have been very much. Today it's a crime to see all our fields, just like that are been useless, made useless. They are not useless, but made useless because of our laziness.
I think you have nailed it, Father. We have learnt it from our parents. But our children don't learn anything from us because we are not doing it.
Very much.
And we have to be the role models for the future. Yes.
Let us not blame children in anything. Previously, I used to, whenever the teachers told me about the students, I used to also feel that the children are bad. But today, when I have gone through the reality and understood what is what, I don't just believe what the world says about it.
Absolutely. And Father, besides rice, I can see some sugarcane also is there, and bananas also there.
Yeah.
So you are doing a little bit of mixed cropping also.
Yeah. Because this thing, like, the children also, children like to see the mixed cropping, and they need to remember also that along with this, they can also grow other things which they want and they enjoy. So, for example, they will be enjoying the sugarcane.
Absolutely.
And later on the bananas. And these crops you don't need to, see, simultaneously it goes. Once this is over, that will come. It takes little time and it will also come up. And when this harvest is over, that will start yielding. And there is no double work you need to put into this.
Yes, the water that you give here, it also gets a little bit of manure also it gets.
Yeah,
okay.
Organic thing.
Yes. So, very organic. About organic practices, what can you tell us that your students are learning?
Yeah. Now, organic thing, I also want to remind you that, how we can take care of the organic thing. Today, people are, this is by and large, I can say 75%. 75% is organic again, I would like to tell you, and 25% is chemical, because you cannot, once the seeds, the seedlings have come up, 2-3 generations, if it is come with the chemicals, you just, at a time, you cannot get them onto
change over, yes.
Yeah, so it's a gradual, this thing. So now this concept, I did it last year when I did the vegetable garden.
Yes, in organic farming also we talk about conversion.
Conversion.
Just like how you change your religion, first you learn the catechism.
Correct.
And then you learn the rituals, and then you change your religion.
Exactly.
So also for organic, yes.
Yeah, this is a gradual process. And you can now, for example, even as you said, the straws that I'm going to have over here, not all I will able to use for the mushroom cultivation. Some I will just make it lying down here.
Okay.
So this itself
forms of mulch and compost.
Correct. And once I do that, this itself will be some sort of organic over here. And also, what do I do? A simple process that I do every day over here when I do the vegetable cultivation. I'm sure my support staff will remember how I do. Every day I would collect the kitchen waste. And the kitchen waste, especially the fish waste that
Fish
was,
waste.
yeah, because see, we fathers staying together around, we get almost around 2-3 kilos every day.
Of fish waste.
Yeah, because a number of priests are staying together and everyone's food is cooked together. So we bring fish together. And this fish is to be always going out, and sometimes the crows would take and go. So I would bring it and put it in the gallon. So that, this school, here I used to put it in the gallon. I would put a little of jaggery and keep it for getting compost.
It's compost.
And I would come and shake
Shake it up.
So after around 21 days, instead of putting any other chemical, I would give it. And people were asking me, why your things are different? Actually, this ground, if you had to say, as Meghal has said, it's a kachra patti it was. And how it is, Father, zomin sarki na, tuje last year, for example, every day we were getting 5-6 kilos tomatoes here.
Tomatoes, yeah.
Yeah? And people were surprised, ye कशें जाता? They सगळे गेले उपरांत in the evening what I would do, 5 o'clock and or so, because that's the best time of also manuring.
Yes.
After the sun.
After sunset.
After sunset, before sunrise or after sunset. These are two timings.
Yes.
No, Mr. Bengal?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I would take advantage of this, the natural thing that are available for us, and I would quietly put it. And around here there are no houses. But even if the houses are there around, it is little far. And I would do it, and nobody knew from where the smell was coming. But that was not disturbing. I would open the ground.
It is not too strong a smell.
Not too strong, because
21 days it's fermented.
Yeah, and also jaggery is there. It's sort of EM it is getting onto.
Yes.
And it was without smell, and the fruiting that it was to be flowering, and we used to get a lot of harvest into that. So this is what I would say. Every one of us, instead of throwing this fish waste out, you can fill it. Even if you don't have anything, you have a gallon of about 5 liters. Put little water, put the little jaggery, and keep shaking it. And the same thing you start using for your terrace cultivation.
Yeah.
Hi, my dear friends. This is what the work of Father Agnel School is going on in the school over here. We have done the terrace cultivation, especially this vegetable, how it is grown. We just now I harvested this from here. I can show you also. Can you, my dear boy, can you bring up this thing, slipper? Catch this in your hand. See, can you see this? These are the gosadi, what we call in Konkani. Okay, and this you can see the creeper which is grown in this vase. Now you don't need to cry if you don't have a proper land. It is even enough that you have got small open terrace, and on that terrace you can start making pots, and in this pot you can grow the vegetable. Now you can see the lady fingers how nicely they are grown. Yes, we have already harvested so much. You can see also here, and then you can see the capsicum also. It's planted here. So each of you, I would say, I would say to each one of you, if you have your kitchen waste every day, instead of disturbing your neighbors and your neighbor disturbing you, you can start having 2 buckets. I'll start putting the layer of mud first, then put the layer of the waste of vegetable, cutting and other things, including fish maybe. And cover it up with another layer. And with this layer, once you cover it up, see the next day, you also cover it up, you put it and cover up again with the mud layer. Likewise, within a week, your bucket will be full. Then start with the other bucket. Within 14 days, you will get an organic manure. And then start having about 10 vases. Like for example, around 4 vases you can go for ladyfingers, which is enough for about a family of 5. If you have 4 plants, meaning every day it gives you around 6 acres to you. Then you have 1 or 2 tomato plants. Then you have 2 chili plants. Okay, then something like cucumber and all you can have, so that you can you eat that is really organic. Today nothing is organic in the market. Even so-called people are saying organic, they are not organic, because if you go to see where they are planting, they put up so much of chemicals, the urea supplement. So my dear boys, along with you, I want all others also to start this system, which we have already started in this Father Agnel High School, and we have already grown and seen. You have seen it yourself. I would like to show you how even the cucumber is grown here. in the vases here. Okay, so this is what it is, my dear. So this is what we had planted in this thing, and over there, this also we had harvested from the other vase, and likewise we can grow.
Actually, this fish solution is found to be quite a miracle. In Tamil Nadu, they used it after the tsunami in 2004 to bring back land into cultivation. And research in England has shown that it increases drought tolerance. If there is less water, the plant does not suffer if you are using the fish solution.
Correct.
So you have been using this and getting good crop, and I'm sure people will be finding your tomatoes and brinjals were tastier than
Yes.
what they get in the market.
Very much. People would come here and buy the tomatoes, and they said, Father, your tomatoes are totally different than what we are getting in the market today. And it was, even in the color and the size, it was amazing. In fact, we had also last year Chinese cabbage.
Okay,
Yeah, we had around 75 cabbages growing, which I brought from the Ella farm, the sapling, and it took shape. It was amazing to see each cabbage was grown about 2-3 kilos.
Wonderful.
With the same concept of my fish waste.
And the very important thing in your particular gardening is that the students get to see how it's growing and how it is different, and they also must be buying and taking home and tasting it also with their parents.
Correct. Correct. Last year, even some people told me, Father, why don't you have one day of the market? But it was such a thing. Whatever we used to get, most of the time, it used to be going, because my teachers used to buy, whether it was like brinjals or radish or the norcol or all this.
And also parents of students.
Parents also would come and buy. Because last year what happened, sir? Last year it was a pandemic and very few parents would come. But even then the word of mouth, it went on and people would come and buy here.
Yes, that's a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Father, for sharing this with us. And I'm sure that the viewers will find encouragement and know that the generation next can actually learn if they are given an opportunity, and that they will do much better than our generation has done. So thank you, Father, and keep watching CCR TV.